Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Guys, today we have the Premier League team of the season to check out. We have the team, we have moments, and we also have flashback, right? So with the first player here, we have Erling Holland, right? So Erling Holland, obviously one of the better physical type strikers in the game. People still use this card, to be fair. Performs really, really well for the most part. And what's great about him is that he just has all the right things to be a good physical type striker. In his case, I don't remember what I gave this card during that time period. I think I still maybe used him on a control over the lengthy. I honestly don't remember. How is he on a basic? Yeah, I don't remember what I did with this card. I don't know if I kept him on a lengthy or if I kept him on a controlled, because I haven't used him ever since that review. But obviously Erling Haaland is going to be a really cool one, probably the most deserved one. This guy's going to probably shatter the Premier League record, to be honest with you. Power header, speed dribbler, injury prone trait, couple of interesting stuff there. This guy, when he gets his run going, he's gone. It's really hard to catch up to him because he has like crazy physical abilities. Odegaard, the only card that we got from Odegaard this year so far has only been the Premier League Player of the Month card, right? This card, obviously, if you like Arsenal and you want to complete this card to have him in your team for an Arsenal squad, then he's going to be a pretty decent card to use. But he's not like a crazy card to use, right? You need players that feel a little bit better for the meta of the game, right? On the new card, you could potentially give him a Hawk chemistry style, right? Depending on how they format the card with extra physical capabilities. Or you're probably still going to give him a Hunter chemistry style, but base card stats for dribbling will be in a significantly better area with 5-star skills, and they could potentially give him a 4-star weak foot too, which I think would make the most sense because it's probably going to be Odegaard's last card in the game in general that has like a special version. So I feel like it would be very important for them to do that. If they keep him at a 5-star, 3-star, that would be very underwhelming because you need a 4-star weak foot at the very least for some of the finishing opportunities that you actually end up working with. So with Odegaard, a lot of potential there. He has a lot of really cool traits to work with too. So he would definitely be a very sick card to get as a team of the season. Next up is De Bruyne. De Bruyne, usually in FIFA, is one of the better attacking center mids, right? Attacking center mids, this card is really good in that area. He always has the right attacking AI for it. Like he has that natural attacking for AI for it, which is what makes a card really, really sick to work with. So usually with a card like this, you probably either give him like a Hunter chemistry style because the way that the shooting is formatted. Some people don't really care about boosting the defense as much, so they just give him a Hunter and use him as the attacking oriented center mid with some defensive stats. But obviously for better general gameplay experience, the Shadow is going to make the most sense for the card for the most part. Again, it depends on how you use the cards in the game. Maybe they boost his pace to be even higher, because I could see some people for the meta of FIFA using him in a 3-back formation playing the right mid area too, if they have like a bunch of midfielders, because he would actually do a pretty decent job in that area too if they were to do that. But obviously that's more of a stretch. He's mostly going to be someone they use in the midfield position and do a pretty decent job. Salah, have I tried Salah this year? I don't think I have. Did I try the Foot Centurion card? Did I try the Foot Centurion card? I don't remember if I did. I don't remember if I did. I think when I reviewed it might be this year or last year. I think when I checked out this card one time, I actually really enjoyed using him. I think. I don't remember, but I think. This card is still 1.7 million coins with a 3-star weak foot. Wow. Yeah, definitely more of a card to pack than to buy. For sure, 100%, unless you're building some sort of like Liverpool squad. But in his case, I could see them giving him the 4-star weak foot, which would definitely be a really, really huge plus, because Salah back in the day, like I would say like 3-4 years ago, I never really liked his Salah body type, right? But in the game nowadays, it's not as bad. So I'm more curious about this year because I honestly don't remember using him. I haven't used him that much this year. I don't remember, honestly. With him, not specifically. Diaz will be really good. Because Diaz, here's the thing. So he has the Foot Fantasy card, and this card is pretty decent to work with, right? Because on a Shadow chemistry style, he's a lengthy. Acceleration is low, yes, but his sprint speed is high. So that compensates with the lengthy. However, with the new card coming out, he might have higher base card stats for pace, as well as the dribbling capabilities, right? So defensively, the card's going to probably be really nice. And what the difference is that you're probably going to be able to give him a Hawk chemistry style over the Shadow, which it'll cause a little bit of a difference for physical, but I think base card stats will probably be improved enough where you're still probably going to want to give the shadow, to be honest, like just to make him perfect defensively, perfect in the pace department for the card that he is. Some people, depending on how they improve defense, I could see them giving him a catalyst. I never give catalyst to these guys. If their defense is literally a difference of 1 and 2, I would still give him a shadow chemistry style because that's the whole point of the card, right? So yeah, that's just for me personally. But yeah, Diaz will definitely be a really cool card to get as well. Some people have really liked this card after the upgrades, especially. Harry Kane, gonna be a physical type striker. I don't know if you guys remember, but before the whole lengthy meta change, this and that, this card was a destructive player. Like his rare gold card, people were using a lot in the beginning of the year. Will they use the card as much nowadays? Probably not. They want to have players that are going to feel a little bit more agile, I would say. But as a physical type striker, if they format him similar to like an Erling Holland, then I could see him being very solid. Because like I said, in the beginning of the year, before the pace change and stuff, Harry Kane was a menace to deal with. This card right here, as you see, at 67 acceleration, 69 sprint speed, like he was a very, very good finisher because of the base card stats that he's working with. But obviously, there's a lot of cards that have those finishing stats nowadays, so a little bit of a different situation. But I could still see him being pretty decent to use if they format him correctly. I think what's going to be a big thing is obviously giving him skill moves, which would be really cool. Although I will say that skill moves will be a plus to have for like an L1 Croqueta and stuff, but he's still going to be very physical when he does those skill moves because I don't see them boosting the agility and balance a whole lot. Maybe like a lot for sure, but maybe like a whole lot, a little bit more debatable. So it really depends on what they do, if they actually do a pretty decent job with that kind of stuff. Saka for the meta of FIFA, like I personally, with this card, even with the way that it's currently formatted, actually maybe the card will be significantly better because his dribbling is all in the 90s area. Because the way that you use this card right now is the only way to use him in the meta is shadow chemistry style left mid position, right? Or you give him like a hunter chemistry style left mid position that has some defensive capabilities. Or you use him as like the attacking oriented left center mid. With the new card coming out, honestly, because of the way that I'm seeing that the pace is formatted, you could potentially give him an anchor chemistry style, right? Which would definitely be very nice for the card. Or you could potentially give him the hawk chemistry style because of base card stats for dribbling and passing being significantly higher. So a lot of potential there to work with Saka for a card that actually has defensive capabilities while playing under an explosive accelerate or controlled, depending on the playstyle that you are working with in game. Trippier, I could see Trippier being really good, to be honest with you guys. There is a lot of potential with this card. Look at the difference between that and the Winter Wildcard name. There's a lot of potential with this card because this card actually wasn't that bad. He wasn't that bad. I wouldn't have chosen him personally for like the stuff that existed during that time period. Like I definitely would have gone with like a Sandro Tonali and like maybe something else. But generally speaking, for the amount of swaps that you had to put to get this card as a right back that was English, all that kind of stuff, he was actually decent to use. He wasn't bad whatsoever, but there was better choices in my opinion, right? But with this card, right, on a new one, shadow chemistry style, probably going to be really nice, right? Especially with base card stats for physical being improved. You have to remember, right, that he's average body type with a 4-star weak foot, and that in the defensive position is really, really cool to work with. Medium, you don't care too much about. As long as you keep him on stay back while attacking, it's not really that big of a deal. But even if they are on overlap, like he was okay if he was overlapping sometimes too. So yeah, definitely going to be an interesting one there too. We have Rashford, who for the most part just needs the, what was it again? The weak foot upgrade, right? That's what it was. Well, this card has the weak foot. The player of the month is the one that, yeah, okay. So this card is the one that had the weak foot, but it's the other versions like the player of the month that didn't have the weak foot. So for the team of the season, they're probably going to give him the 5-star, 4-star. And to be honest, you're probably still going to give him a finisher chemistry style or an engine, depending on how they improve the shooting on the card, right? Because obviously with Rashford, the thing that's probably the most noticeable with this card is 6'1" unique body type with bounce, but it's honestly wasn't even that big of a deal. Like I actually enjoyed using Rashford. I thought Rashford was really cool. Very overpriced SBC during that time period for sure. I'm more so talking about the 87 when they released it during that time period. Like he was actually pretty decent to use on a finisher chemistry style because he felt faster than what the stats suggest. And during that time period, we were speculating like maybe it's the speed dribbler trait, CPU AI, like we don't know, but he ran faster than the way that the card looks. So a lot of potential there to work with too, especially if you could potentially give him like an engine chemistry style in the future while working with higher base card stats for shooting. So again, it depends on how they format the card in that specific area too. We have Ramsdale, goalkeeper, not really much to say there. With goalkeepers, it doesn't really matter what their stats are. It's all about a matter of like how they perform in game. So there's not really much that we could see there, because sometimes players that could be even worse in stats will perform better in game because of certain attributes, right? Bruno Guimaraes will be a good card. Yeah, Bruno Guimaraes will definitely be a really good card. The FUT birthday was really cool to use. Definitely very nice. What's cool about these cards is that they at least do something that has or makes them interesting, right? So with this card, he has 5-star skills. Cool. Now with the team of the season, they probably won't give the skill moves. What they might do is they might keep the skill moves at a 3-star, or maybe they make him a 4-star player, right? To make the FUT birthday promo interesting in its own way. It's kind of like Bernardo Silva, right? Bernardo Silva has a 5-star week on the FUT birthday, so it makes the card interesting in that way. And then obviously the team of the season is 4-star, but he gets a stat increase. So it kind of makes sense to do that kind of stuff, right? But yeah, with Bruno Guimaraes, obviously in his case, if he gets like a shadow chemistry style on the card, definitely a pretty solid midfielder to use for the most part. So could be very nice. Could be very nice. Casimiro, I could see Casimiro being a very, very good CDM. Casimiro. I could see him being a very, very good CDM. It just depends on what his running animation is like, though, right? Because if you take a look at this version of his card, which, to be fair, is more usable than that one because that one is way slower. The Shadow Chemistry style on this card makes him an 80 acceleration, 88 sprint speed player on a lengthy. I think, I don't think I ever tried out this card. I could be wrong, but I don't think I ever tried him out. I think I may have used him on someone's account for a review, but I don't remember entirely. Because as you guys know with Paulino's card, Paulino has lower pace, but his running animation is very free-flowing, so it makes him run really nicely. It could be a similar situation to Casimiro with the Team of the Season card, because obviously as a CDM, medium-high work rates, unique body type, a lot of things bouncing off the card really nicely. But I don't remember what his running animation is like, so that's obviously important to take a look at. Martinelli will be good. Martinelli will definitely be very good. This Europa League card's actually pretty decent too, like very, very usable in those side positions. You know, I think I had him on a marksman. I think I was using like some sort of tactic, and he was in the team. I think it might have been like Giyu's team or something, or KSR's team. I can't remember exactly, but the card was actually pretty decent to use. I don't know if it was a marksman. I think it might have been like a hawk that I gave him. I think it was a hawk, maybe. I don't remember exactly. But he's well formatted, though, right? 4-star, 4-star, 5'10", a good work rates, good body type, side position players with a high work rate while making them explosive. I like that the most, right? So if I can give them an explosive accelerate in that general position, that would be great to work with, too. So Martinelli would definitely be very nice. Alisson, I could see Alisson being a meta goalkeeper potentially. He could potentially be a meta goalkeeper. He never got a card this year, but he was one of the cards that people used in the beginning of the year, right? His rare golds card was actually a very, very solid player for the most part. I say for the most part because he's a 50-50 player as well, right? Because the only card that is probably consistently the best is Team of the Year icon Van der Sar, right? Like that's just a card that people can't really argue against you about, right? Even Ederson's good, and then he's also bad. He's like a combination of the two, but Van der Sar is the most consistent for the most part, right? But yeah, he could definitely be very good. Saliba will be full meta, no doubt about it in my mind. This card over here, 367k. He is really low in price for a center back. Saliba is incredible, guys. Like, he is a very good center back. So, like, shadow chemistry on this guy with the improvements that he's been given. His jumping is low, which could be a little bit of a nuisance from time to time, right? The jumping part being low, because it is important, regardless of him being 6'4" high in average. But this card is very solid, like very, very good. Team of the season will only be better. Higher pace with perfect defending stats, essentially, for the team of the season will be insane. He's a very, 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 very solid card. Zinchenko, they probably won't do that like crazy thing like they did to him on the FUT birthday, because this card is actually well formatted for a shadow, but he's probably gonna be better formatted on a shadow or an anchor, depending on how they improve the team of the season stats. Because with this card, they add like really cool variables to it, right? One is 5-star skills, 4-star weak foot, and then the other one is 4-star skills with a 5-star weak foot, which I always prefer more. I don't care about skill moves in the defensive positions. Like a 5-star weak foot would definitely be a preferable option. But yeah, as a team of the season, if they improve him in certain ways, because his acceleration is higher than the sprint speed, right? So there's actually potential, right? There's potential to potentially give him a hunter chemistry style and just use him as a really good left mid in a 3-back formation, or as a left center mid, depending on how they actually end up improving the card, right? For people that want to build the team in that sort of way. Heung-min Son is pretty solid. Very, very solid card as well. These cards, they didn't really last that long though, man. I think the card that lasted the longest, I think, was the Inform card. I think it was a left wing, maybe. I can't remember exactly. Because Heung-min Son's different this year, right? Because he used to be a high work rated card, but nowadays he's high medium. So a lot of people were actually using him in the striker position. Not even joking. Like in the beginning of the year, it was a striker position. But these cards, they didn't really last that long in people's teams. Like I never really saw him being used. I don't think I ever saw him being used, to be honest, unless someone packed him. So a team of the season card will definitely be a huge plus. Heung-min Son has very good traits, right? He's got the finesse shot trait. He's got speed dribbler, long shot, all that kind of stuff, right? Which, in my opinion, does help out with the animation choices from the card. Varon, I think, is going to be full meta as well. I actually have no doubts about this. This winter wild card, I think when I reviewed it, I was like freaking out because I was like, because I'm really of, not an opinion. I don't think this is opinion. I think this is a fact. I'm really of the fact, right, that you need full meta defenders in this game. And when I got Varon for the review, it was so nice during that time period because I was like, this card is what I need. I need a card like this in my defensive positions because he's absolutely incredible. Significantly cheaper nowadays than when I checked him out, I think, during that time period. But yeah, he's amazing. Like if you could get it, honestly, as of right now, not even joking, right now, if you were to get Varon and Saliba's Foot Fantasy card for like 600, 700k, you would have 2 solid center backs. I'm not even joking. Like you would still have very good center backs. But yeah, Varon is, I think he'll definitely be full meta. Saint Maximin, is he still high-low? Let me see. Still high-low, stocky body type. This card's still cool, man. I liked him. I thought he was really fun to use. Weirdly formatted on a hunter. I think they'll definitely make some good improvements on that. I think that's going to be very important, especially with the 5-star skills, 4-star weak foot. And then higher base card stats for dribbling as well will definitely be a huge plus because you do have to work with that on the stocky body type. But this card still performed okay. He was actually really nice for the most part. So definitely looking forward to that. Potentially on a Hawk too. Depending on how much they improve the finishing as well. So that'll be an interesting one. And then these are the SBCs. So we have Kai Havertz as the first one. To be fair, Kai Havertz had a card, this one. This card was actually pretty decent to use. I'm not going to lie. He was actually pretty decent to use. I was actually oddly surprised at how fun he was. Unless I'm thinking of another year of FIFA. I think it was this year. Yeah, I had him up top in the striker position. I'm like, this card's actually scoring some nice goals for me during that time period as well. What's interesting about him is that he can be a lengthy player, right? On a marksman chemistry style. I honestly don't remember what I gave him during that time period because I think this might have been, I think Rule Breakers was like, what, the 3rd promo of the year or something? So that was a long time ago. A long time ago. But an SBC for him will definitely be cool. I could see them giving him either the 5-star weak foot or their 5-star skills. I think for the sake of the game and the way that it plays out, 5-star skills is probably going to be preferable, but it depends on what they do, right? We'll see what they do. Laporte, World Cup stories. Did I ever try out this card? I don't remember. Because he is a lengthy on a shadow. And then on the new card, he'll have higher acceleration sprint speed on a shadow as well. On a unique body type, 6'3", left-footed. Left-foot is a really big deal, right? So I could see him being pretty solid to work with too. In that left center back position as well. A lot of really cool stuff to work with there. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. The only one that I don't see here that I think is supposed to be here is obviously Paulino. I could see people in the YouTube comment section already writing down below, like, where's Paulino? Even though we're talking about it at the end because they didn't watch the video. Yeah, this card is amazing, right? He is one of the most disliked players as an SBC, 3,056 dislikes, and it was the most unwarranted thing in the world. people who gave dislikes to this card never tried out this inform card during that time period and never saw how good he actually was. This inform card was amazing. It was the first year of FIFA in the CDM position for Portuguese players where they actually had a competent meta player. Don't even bring up Footy's Danilo Pereira, because Footy's Danilo Pereira doesn't touch this card with the new accelerate feature on a lengthy. This card is probably the only CDM that has low pace, right? Like this, and you couldn't care less about it. It's probably the only one on a lengthy. It's such a good card. 140k was genuinely a really good price for him. And during the SBC, I tell you guys, listen, even if the card is Portuguese, I'll tell you guys if he's not great. Figo was a really good example. Figo sucks. He sucks, okay? He sucks. But a card like Paulino, amazing, man. I love using him and Ronaldo Sanchez together. It's always a really cool combination whenever I get to that point. So if they still have that leak of him being a team of the season moments, and honestly be able to give him an anchor, I would give him an anchor, because I couldn't care less about the pace from before. I would actually give him an anchor, make his jumping higher, and he would be a monster, bro. He'd be a monster. But it depends. It depends on how they improve the card with jumping and stuff, right? Because if he's in the 90s area, I'll probably still give him a shadow to make him as fast as possible on that lengthy. Because I'm used to this pace as it is, but on a lengthy with a shadow would be significantly better. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know if there was anybody else that was leaked during that time period, but definitely looks like a really insane promo for the most part. So yeah, definitely gonna be busy during this time period. I'm gonna be busy though, because on the Saturday I have like a family thing to go to. So we'll probably be doing most of the reviews maybe on like the Friday, early morning Saturday, and then like Sunday and Monday and all that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today. I will catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.